The trophy ceremony should have been pure celebration. Jacob Bridgeman, a 26-year-old rookie, had just won the Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club, holding off Rory McIlroy and Kurt Kitayama by a single shot. Tiger Woods was waiting at the top of the steps, arms open, ready to congratulate the newest winner of his signature event. But as Bridgeman walked up that hill, exhausted and emotional, something else was already brewing beneath the surface. Reports of rules violations, whispers of a two-stroke penalty, a formal review that could strip him of everything he just earned. And now, for the first time, Tiger Woods has broken his silence on the cheating drama that threatens to overshadow the biggest moment of Bridgman's life. Jacob Bridgeman walked onto the 18th green at Riviera Country Club with a one-shot lead in hands he couldn't feel. The 26-year-old rookie from Clemson had started the day with a 6-shot advantage over Rory McIlroy, a cushion that seemed insurmountable. By the time he reached the final hole, that lead had nearly evaporated entirely. His first putt from 19 feet slid 3 foot short, drawing gasps in the gallery that lined the famous amphitheater green. For a moment, the unthinkable seemed possible, a 3-putt that would send the tournament to a playoff. But Bridgman steadied himself, walked up to the 3 and 1/2-footer, and knocked it dead center. When the ball dropped, the celebration began. But Bridgman wasn't celebrating yet. His eyes were fixed on the hill behind the green, where a man in a navy blue sweater was walking down to meet him. Tiger Woods, the tournament host, the 15-time major champion, the man whose posters covered Bridgman's childhood bedroom walls, wrapped the rookie in a warm embrace. As they walked toward the trophy presentation, Woods leaned in and delivered a line that Bridgman will never forget. He said, "You got one on me. I guess he's never won here yet." Bridgman later recalled, laughing, "I got one thing. He's got all the other ones, but I got one." For a moment, the moment was perfect. A rookie winning his first PGA Tour title at one of the most iconic venues in golf, receiving a personal congratulations from the greatest player of all time. The $4 million winner's check and 700 FedEx Cup points were just icing on the cake. But even as Bridgman posed for photos, fighting back tears during his post-round interview, the foundation of his victory was already being questioned. Within hours of Bridgman's triumph, reports began circulating that the PGA Tour's Rules Committee was reviewing potential infractions from his final round. The allegations centered on 2 specific incidents. First, under Rule 8.1, officials were examining whether Bridgman had improperly pressed his club into the turf near his ball, potentially improving his lie. The rule prohibits deliberately improving the area of intended swing or the line of play. Lightly grounding the club is permitted. Deliberately flattening grass or altering surface conditions is not. The second area of concern involved a relief procedure during round 3. Under Rule 14.7, a player must drop the ball from knee height, with the ball first striking the ground inside the defined relief area. If the ball is played from outside that area, it constitutes playing from a wrong place, a 2-stroke penalty. Here's the part that made everyone nervous. Bridgman won by a single shot. A 2-stroke penalty would not just change the leaderboard, it would reverse the outcome entirely. The tour's adjudication process relies on high-definition broadcast footage, frame-by-frame analysis, and shot-link positional data. Retroactive penalties require clear and convincing evidence. Intent is the most difficult element to prove. For 48 hours, the golf world held its breath. McIlroy, who finished tied for second, was reportedly considering whether to raise formal concerns. Kurt Kitayama, the other runner-up, waited in silence. And Bridgman, the rookie who should have been celebrating the greatest week of his life, could only wait. The chaos had officially begun. As the rules review dragged on, one voice remained conspicuously absent. Tiger Woods had been intimately involved in Bridgman's victory, watching from the broadcast booth during round 3, waiting at the 18th green on Sunday, sharing that private moment walking down the hill. If anyone's opinion carried weight, it was his. On Tuesday morning, Woods finally addressed the controversy. Speaking to a small group of reporters at his Jupiter Island compound, Woods didn't mince words. "I watched every shot," Woods said. "I've seen the footage, and I'll tell you what I told Jacob when we walked off that green. He earned it, every bit of it." Woods acknowledged the scrutiny, but dismissed the notion that any violation had occurred. Look, I've been playing this game at the highest level for over 30 years. I know what it looks like when someone is trying to gain an advantage. Jacob wasn't doing anything wrong. He was a kid, leading his first tournament with the biggest names in golf chasing him down. If his hands were shaking, if he grounded his club a little heavy, that's not cheating. That's being human. The 15-time major champion then delivered a message that seemed directed at the officials reviewing the tape. We got to be careful here. We're talking about a kid's life, his first win, a $4 million payday, a spot in the Masters. If we're going to take that away, we better be absolutely certain. And from what I've seen, there's no certainty here. Wood's words carried weight. Within hours, sources close to the Rules Committee indicated that the review was unlikely to result in penalties. The clear and convincing evidence standard, combined with a lack of demonstrable intent, made a ruling against Bridgeman nearly impossible. But the damage was already done. A moment that should have been pure joy had been tainted by suspicion, and the rookie who just wanted to hug his childhood hero was now at the center of a scandal he never asked for. While the rules review quietly faded, another controversy erupted around Bridgeman. During a watch-along segment connected to the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, media personality Benjamin W. Boscovic had been discussing the leaderboard. When prompted to mention Bridgman's name alongside contenders like Scotty Scheffler and Colin Morikawa, Boscovic dismissed the rookie with a single devastating sentence: "He's not a box office name." The comment resurfaced with brutal timing after Bridgman's Genesis victory. The kid who wasn't box office had just won the biggest tournament of his life at one of golf's most iconic venues. On February 23rd, Boscovic appeared on Dan on Golf and issued an on-air apology that stunned everyone. Looking directly into the camera, addressing Bridgeman by name, he said, "When pressed by my co-host Dan Rappaport, I stated you were not a box office name. I regret these transgressions. They bring me great shame, and I'm sorry." Bridgeman, when asked about the apology, took the high road. "I didn't even know about it until someone showed me," he said. "I'm not focused on that stuff. I'm focused on playing golf. If someone wants to apologize, that's between them and their conscience. I've got a trophy to think about." The apology did nothing to diminish what Bridgeman had accomplished. In fact, it highlighted it. The same player who wasn't box office had just led the field in strokes gained approach and strokes gained putting, joining an exclusive group of only 4 players since 2004 to top both categories in the same week. He became the first player since 1975 to win at Riviera in his debut appearance at the event. Box office? Maybe not yet, but undeniable? Absolutely. The dust has settled on the Genesis Invitational. Jacob Bridgman's name is officially in the record books. The rules review came and went without penalty. The apology was delivered and accepted, but the questions raised by this week will linger. First, there's a question of scrutiny. Why was a rookie's every move analyzed with such intensity? Tiger Woods offered a theory. When you're new, people don't know you. They see things and assume the worst. But if Rory had done the same thing, nobody would blink. That's just the reality. Then there's the question of intent. The rules review highlighted how difficult it is to prove what's in a player's mind. Did Bridgeman deliberately improve his lie? Did he know he might be dropping from the wrong spot? The answer, according to everyone who watched, is no. He was just a kid, nervous as hell, trying to survive. "I couldn't even feel my hands on the last couple greens," Bridgeman admitted. That's not a cheater, that's a human being. Finally, there's a question of what comes next. Jacob Bridgeman is now inside the top 25 in the official World Golf Ranking. He's earned $5.2 million this season and leads the FedEx Cup standings. The Masters awaits in April, and thanks to his win at Riviera, he'll be there. Tiger Woods, meanwhile, will continue his own comeback. The Genesis was another step in that journey, not as a player, but as a host, a mentor, a voice of reason in a sport that sometimes loses its way. The cheating drama is over. Jacob Bridgeman is a champion, and the golf world can finally get back to celebrating the remarkable thing he did. "I think getting the trophy from Tiger is going to be the coolest thing in my life," Bridgeman said. "I know he's made 1 million of those little 3-footers, but that was my first one. It won't be his last." For more coverage of the biggest stories in golf, Subscribe and hit the notification bell.